let us go live and let me know when we're ready to go.
Good evening. You are all set and ready to go.
Thank you very much. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Human and Community Services Committee for Town Council. Today is our meeting for July 29th. My name is Deb Poland, and I am the chair of this committee. We also have committee member Councilor Barry Walters with us this evening, as well as Councilor Tiffany McGinnis. And for town staff, our town manager, Rick Ledwith, Library Services Director Laura Armshire, and Helen Rubino Turco from our Leisure and Social Services, as well as Gerida Reinheimer. So we will go ahead and get started with the first item on the agenda, which is the approval of minutes. So I guess, Mr. Walters, I would be seeking a motion to approve the minutes from our June 16th meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. I will second. Any discussion? All right, we'll consider those minutes approved. And then we'll move to item 2B. This is a resolution to accept and appropriate a grant from the North Central AAA, and I will turn it over to Mr. Ledwith. And before I do, just a note that we're being joined by committee member, Town Councilor Mary Fay. Welcome, Mary.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening,
All right.
Mary. Thank you, Madam Chair, and good evening, everyone. We are introducing a resolution to accept a $4,000 grant from the North Central Area Agency on Aging to support the Buried and Treasures Support Group Program, which provides assistance to residents struggling with hoarding disorders. So I do want to take a moment to thank Liz Bazinski and her team for their continued dedication to this important work, and of course for their efforts in securing one of many grants that make these programs possible. So I will pause there, and through you, Madam Chair, we can certainly be happy to answer any questions that the committee had.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about this grant?
Yeah, may I please, if it's
Sure.
okay? Yeah, Rick, you know, I've been Fort Health trying to help a couple people resolve, I guess I'll call them hoarding issues. How do they have to apply for these, or how do they get the grant to help them out? Or do you guys, through the health department, go to their home and help make that happen? If you could give me a little insight, that would be very helpful.
Sure, and what I can do through you, Madam Chair, to Councilor Fay's question is I can turn things over to Helen, and Helen can respond directly to that question. Thank you.
Sure, thank you, Councilman Fay. We've been running this group for several years now and have consistently had between 5 and 10 individuals who participate in each session. In the past, we've opened this group up to neighboring towns with grant support from the NCAAA. And then we serve residents, our own residents plus residents from other communities who don't have this opportunity. Anyone can reach out to social services at any time. It is for assistance with hoarding, or if they know someone that they suspect is facing some activity that looks, like this hoarding disorder. Once this group completes the 16 weeks, we actually help them form their own informal network so they continue the work on their own. And then we also have sort of like an annual event for people that have participated in the past, so they can come together, and many of them have reported that they continue meeting after the group concludes. So we feel this is a really important program. It has received support from the NCAAA before. Sometimes we write grants for other purposes. This year, we'd like to circle back to have this grant support this activity.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions about this grant? Okay, if not, we will go ahead and ask to have that put on our next town council agenda for approval.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you.
for that.
Thank you.
Are there any communications?
Nothing on our communications tonight, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. We will move on then to staff reports, and we will start with the library update.
Madam Chair, good evening, everyone. I am happy to share what's been going on with us this summer. And first up is Bookworm Fest. It happened just a couple days ago on Saturday, and it was a huge success. We had over 2,200 people in the Noah Webster Library. This is up over 1,000 from last year. Our attendance was 1,200. We had people of all ages in, and there was just a really great day at the library. There was something to do for kids, for adults, for families. Everybody had something. We partnered with several local businesses who participated in the event. The Barnes Noble Cafe made special drinks for Bookworm Fest. World of Beer was giving people discounts on their meals if they mentioned it. Kilwins created a sundae and a special wand. And then a lot of businesses donated prizes for a raffle that we did. We had indoor and outdoor activities. We had sword fighting on the front lawn. There was a giant three-headed dragon. The library was just full all day long. And one of the fun things was that regular library business was happening too. People were coming in to check out books. One of my favorite pictures from the day is this whole team of people around this game, like very animated, this board game. And then in the background, it's just people sitting on the computer doing their regular work because everything happens at the library. And I think this event is just so emblematic of what a library is. It's a place where people come together and connect and build a community, and where everyone truly is welcome and everyone belongs. And Saturday was just a day of joy. Everybody was happy. Everybody had a good time. It was it was a good break from any issues going on. It was a great day to be with people. I'm just so happy that we were able to have this event. There was really phenomenal coverage from WHCI. Chris Prentice was here and he live streamed for over an hour, and he just walked around the whole building, talking to everybody, just amazed at what was going on. And that video is up on YouTube. And so if you just want to get a check out like what was happening during the day, just any part of that video will show you the activity and the fun, and all the people in the building. And I just want to recognize the library team. The staff here just did a phenomenal job. They spent a year planning this to every detail. They put their heart and soul into this event, and I'm so pleased for them that it was so successful. So I just want to give a shout out to my amazing library staff. And moving on to important but not quite as exciting updates. There is a new state law that's impacting libraries that I wanted to share with you. So it was first proposed as SB 1271. It was also called the Freedom to Read Bill, and it applies to all Connecticut libraries. And it requires that libraries have 4 specific policies with certain requirements. And it's basically intended to prevent inflammatory book bans and make sure that libraries have a very clear process for how they are operating, how we select material, if someone wants to challenge a book, what the process is, how we make those decisions. So the policies are for collection development, which is how we select and deselect material, request for reconsideration, which is the process someone would go through if they want to question if we should have a book, if it's in the right place, and then a program policy and a display policy. We already have 3 of the 4. We don't have a display policy right now. So my team will be reviewing what we do have to see if there's anything that's required in the new law that we're missing, and writing this new display policy. The Connecticut State Library is reviewing all the policies to ensure that they meet the requirements. Our library board is responsible for approving policies. I've talked with them at their last meeting about new law and the requirements, and they're prepared to receive policies and discuss them over their meetings in the next few months. The state library has set a deadline that everything must be complete and submitted to the state by December 1st. And this requirement is tied to our state funding. So if we don't have the policies in place by that date, we won't receive our funding, which I talked about at the last meeting. We get about $8,000 to $12,000 a year from the state. So overall, I think this is a good thing for libraries because we want to have clear procedures for how we operate. We don't want to be a mystery. We want people to understand why we have the books that we do and what our process is. And I think that we in West Hartford are in good shape because we already have several of these policies that I think are pretty clear. So we're just going to review them for the requirements. But that will be a significant undertaking for us for the next few months. And then I wanted to give you a few more updates. We had another really fun event at the end of June. It was our Children's Book at Fun Run. This was the third annual one that we held. It happened on June 28th, and it was once again a rainy Saturday in West Hartford, but it did not affect the turnout. We had 146 children check in, and we had a total of over 400 people attend when you count up all their parents and siblings cheering them on. And in addition to the races, we had a bouncy house to help keep the kids entertained and active. And we had some program evaluations out to hear what people thought of it. And it was remarkable. A lot of people noted that they liked having an activity, that the kids could have something to do in an outdoor physical activity, not just kind of some of the passive things that they typically have. And they also liked that the event showed a lot of community spirit because everybody was cheering for all the kids, whether you knew them or not. It was just a lot of fun to be out there. And for our Bishop's Corner branch, we have holds lockers on the outside of the building. Just a reminder, these are opportunities for people to pick up their materials 24/7 without having to go inside the library. We've had them for a few years, and they've been consistently full with materials waiting inside to go out to the lockers. We average over 200 pickups per month. And so we recently completed a new expansion project to add 6 additional spaces. Just by reconfiguring some of the lockers, we did have some larger spaces that we were able to split into smaller ones. The project was funded by the West Hartford Library Foundation, and we now have nearly 400 registered users who enjoy the ease of picking up their holds when it's most convenient to them. And we're happy to improve that service for them. And I'd like to tell you about some upcoming programs we have. On Friday is our ice cream social. It's our annual summer treat at Bishop's Corner. Staff will be serving ice cream and delicious toppings. It starts Friday at 11. And while it would have been nice to have it today in the heat, it's still always fun to get ice cream. So come visit us. We have an author talk coming up with Michael Grindbaum. He wrote a book, Empire of the Elite. Michael's the son of one of our regular members in the New Yorker group, and his mom actually connected us. And his book is on the history of the Condé Nast magazine empire and American culture in the 80s and 90s. So expecting a big crowd for this one. It's at Noah Webster on August 5th. For kids in grades 4 to 7, we have origami paper circuits. This is an opportunity to combine art, engineering, and electronics by making an origami sculpture that will light up. This one is on August 6th at 2 p.m. We have a new weekly group for teens. It's Teen Crochet for a Cause. It's taking place on Wednesday evenings through the summer. Teens can learn to crochet in the cozy setting of Lubac Square while giving back to their community. Whether they've mastered crochet patterns or never picked up a hook in their life, this is a program for them. Teens will also have the opportunity to donate their items to the toy drive at the Connecticut Children's Hospital. And finally, Faxon's outdoor movie this year is Dogman. It will be showing it on August 8th at 7:15 right outside the Faxon branch. Bring your own blankets or lawn chairs and we'll provide the popcorn. And then I just wanted to end with a note on library usage. With the end of the fiscal year, my favorite thing to do is to compare our statistics to last year and see how we stand. And once again, I have some pretty great results to share. Our attendance last year was up 7%, and that is on top of the previous year's increase of 27%. So we had a big jump last year, and we're still bringing more people in. And our library card holders are up 10%. So we're bringing them in, and they're becoming members and checking out stuff. So I'm very pleased to see that our community is using them. So those are my updates. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Laura? One of the questions I had was about the lockers. And I'm just wondering if maybe you touched on this and I might have missed it. Have you considered expanding to other branches with the lockers as well?
Yes, thank you. We have. So it's in the design for the new community center and Paxton Library. So when we built that building, the intention is to have lockers on the outside for that. And then for Noah Webster, it's pretty complicated. We looked into it a few years ago and have started looking into it again. Just the way our entrances face Main Street and Blueback, there's not great placement for like the electrical and data, with everything we have on the exterior of those buildings. But it is something that kind of pops up every now and then, and we kind of look into to see are there any changes? Has something come up that makes it a little easier and a little more feasible?
Okay, thank you. I think that's all the questions I had. Congratulations on all of the wonderful events that you've been having and the great attendance. It really does show how the library can bring people together in our community. So thank you for spearheading that. And if there are no other questions, we will move on to the leisure and social services update. And I know that we also have the summer newsletter, so thank you for that, Helen. But you want to go ahead and give your update?
Certainly. Thank you, Madam Chair. We are very pleased to be celebrating a banner season for registrations through Leisure Services. We have had the most registrations for camps and programs in the last fiscal year than we've ever had. Registrations for most of our day camps are at 95% capacity this summer. And I did put a couple of those stats in my report, but we've, in the last fiscal year, we processed over 42,600 registrations, including 17,600 since February 1st to today, or till last Friday. It's really astonishing that, this level of growth. We are always tweaking and revamping programs as needed. We do have some spaces available for the rest of the summer. We recently posted on Facebook, our Facebook page lists some of the summer camp openings that remain for the week of April 4th through April 8th next week. And it's a variety of age groups, from 3 to 5-year-olds to 6 to 14-year-olds. So we have a little bit of something at a variety of places. We do expect our fall winter programs are going to be, probably the program guide's going to be posted online, I hope tomorrow. Our programs open for registration on Wednesday, August 6th. So next Wednesday at noon. We do expect printed versions of our fall winter program guide are going to be available at facilities, libraries, and town hall as soon as possible. We typically get them by the end of this week or the beginning of next week, just before the registration program opens. So that is all going on in terms of our camps and our programs. I did want to give a little shout out to our senior centers. Their gazebo concert series has 2 remaining programs left. One is on Tuesday, August 5th, and the next one is on Tuesday, August 19th. So 2 different Tuesdays in August from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's free. And they look interesting. One is Mass Confusion, Motown's Greatest Hits is August 5th. And the Elderly Brothers, Oldies Rock and Roll is August 19th. Bring your lawn chairs, blankets, and picnic supper. Moving on to our capital, I just wanted to give a brief capital projects update. Our new community center is in design development. That phase continues. We do meet with them and with the new construction management company, Whiting Turner, fairly often. And we do expect that we should have an idea of a cost estimate probably by the end of August. And we do we'll be posting updates on the library website so that the community can follow along. We haven't posted anything recently, I don't think, but not since the design development has started. But we should have some updates coming soon. Everyone wants to know when the golf course driving range is going to be done. It is, construction is continuing. We do expect that it's going to be completed in the fall. We are expecting the nets to start going up, the poles and the nets start going up this week and be probably next week as well. But we also have some exciting accomplishments and some projects underway elsewhere. The Fern tennis courts are going to be replaced with post-tension concrete courts. The fencing and the nets are down. They're going to be reclaiming that surface this week and next week. And then we do expect that this will be completed by the end of September, probably early October. So that's pretty exciting. It was in pretty bad shape. We have completed 2 footbridges, one at Westmore Park and one at Spice Bush Swamp Park. They're really beautiful. They're footbridges that feature cedar wood and cedar planks, and they are quite beautiful. We are planning a 3rd footbridge. This one would be at the former Yukon site where the Miracle Field Bridge is. It's been designed and we're waiting for approval from the zoning department. It should be ready to go out to bid this fall. So we do expect that that bridge will be completed as well. At Walcott Park, as you know, this park has been receiving a multi-year renovation. That continues. The new restroom building opened at the beginning of the summer. And we do expect that the eastern parking lot, which has been designed, is going to go out to bid soon. I don't know whether that will be a fall or a spring project. It might be a little of both. And then finally, Eisenhower Pool. As you know, this project was bid a little bit more than a year ago and was awarded to Redwood Construction. This project includes the renovation of the pool house. That portion, that phase has already been completed. And now we will be looking to remove the existing pool and install the new pool. This work does require extensive, as you know, extensive environmental abatement. So that part of the project is out to bid. And we do expect that that will be done this fall, and they'll start working, or actually as soon as the pools close in August. And then after that is completed in early October, the construction of the new pool will begin. It'll be completed by next spring and be in use for the next summer. And it will, as you may remember, it does feature a 0 depth entry and a deep end. So that's kind of exciting and different from our other pools where there isn't a deep end. Since we're on the subject of pools, I did want to mention that our 4 sites are open and very busy. You had asked earlier about what do we do with our camps when it's really hot out, aside from bringing popsicles, which we did last week as a little surprise. We do have shade shelters up, and we do take advantage of shade, but also they just spend more time in the pools. The pools are really a great way to cool off, and we encourage also a lot of hydration. Our splash pads, sorry, the 3 of our 4 pools will close August 17th. Fern Ridge Pool is going to stay open for an additional week until August 29th. That also dovetails with a week of closure at Cornerstone Aquatic Center because they do kind of a deep cleaning and get to do some repairs and maintenance projects during a shutdown every year. But it gives an opportunity for patrons at Cornerstone to swim outdoors so that they're not missing their favorite recreation activity. Our splash pads remain open through early September. We pledge to have them open through Labor Day, but often we will extend that for a week or 2, depending on the weather. because we do realize that it's a really great way and a fun way for families to still, and especially the toddlers, to keep cool. We do have the Pooch Plunge scheduled for Monday, August 18th at Beachland Pool. So the day after the pool closes, we reduce the level of the water down, and we open it up for the West Hartford Dog Park Coalition and the dog community and their owners to come and enjoy the pool. There are two other events that I wanted to draw to your attention. One is the Friends of West Hartford Parks is hosting a movie night on Friday, September 5th at Kennedy Park. They're showing Madagascar. They had an event last Friday at Eisenhower Park. They had movie night at Eisenhower. So this is a great partnership with our local Friends of West Hartford Parks group. And so they are organizing this. They're showing Madagascar, as I said, on Friday, September 5th. It's free, and you can find out more information from their Facebook page. Also, Westmore Park is hosting Feast on the Farm on Friday, September 26th. Yeah, so mark your calendars. This will be the 12th one. It's been going on for 13 years, but during COVID, we had the picnic on the farm instead of Feast on the Farm. We also have a couple of sustainability projects going on. The main one that you might see is the Walcott Hillside. We hired in conjunction with the West Hartford Garden Club and the West Hartford Sustainability Commission. We are working with a land care consultant and volunteers from those groups to create a wildflower meadow on the hillside on Walcott Road. This is just adjacent to the community gardens. So last fall, we blanketed the hillside with about 6 or 8 inches of mulch to suppress all of the plants that were growing there, the grass and the weeds. Those have been scraped off now, and we are going to leave it dormant for about 6 weeks. And then when the seeds start to percolate, the consultant and the volunteers will come in and plant other plants that will overtake, and they'll do some weeding and some treatment. And then they'll come back again in the spring and plant some more and do some additional treatment. But it's designed to be implemented so that it can be self-sufficient and not require a lot of work. And then finally, on the leisure and social side, we are working with America 250. As you know, the United States is having a big birthday next year. And so we are collaborating on different ways to celebrate this year-long process that really will probably kick off in October and go all the way through the following summer with lots of activities. So we're collaborating with Board of Ed and with the library and Noah Webster House and numerous different activities. So it's been a great experience so far, and we are spending a lot of time working on that. I'll pause if you have any questions. I just do have a couple of comments for social services that I don't want to leave out. Do you have any questions so far? You're muted.
Counselor Kay?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chair. I'm sorry about that. I'm just got background noise. I was just trying to not have it come through. Just real quick. Nice report, Helen. That's a lot of good stuff going on. I guess 2 questions real quick. What kind of feedback are you getting about the golf course? We understand why it's, delayed, which is fine. We want a good product. That's all right. Just wondering what kind of feedback you're getting. And then secondly, on the tennis courts, sounds like they might be out of commission a bit in the summer. Is there a way that, I know they're used a lot in the summertime. Is there a way to start that maybe when the kids go back to school so that we don't interrupt their play? Just a quick question. Thank you.
Sure, and through you, Madam Chair, the second question about the tennis. So now is actually a good time because the high school tennis courts, and they're plentiful, are all available to use, as opposed to doing it during the school year when they're being used by school. So right now, we have free reign of using the tennis courts at the schools. We do have a tennis program that starts in the fall, and we have made arrangements for them to, usually they use the courts at Fern, but we'll do a combination of using the courts at Walcott and the courts at the high school. We've made special arrangements for them. And we do anticipate that it should be done so the second half of that tennis camp can take place on the new courts. And the first question was?
Yes, just we understand why the
Oh, the golf course, sure.
feedback are you getting, and are people like calm about it? Or
Yeah, so we're getting some signs up now that work is underway. I think people are a little bit more comfortable, but we do have signs that'll be coming up that says that the project is under construction. We do, as I said, we now have a better idea of a deadline, and so we're working with our building department to expedite some permits, as well as our consultants and the construction staff. So I think we're in good shape now to rock and roll, as they say.
excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. I don't have any questions either. It was very
Okay.
comprehensive. You said you had a few more things you wanted to bring up?
Just a couple. One is we did receive a grant from the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving for $10,000 to support the town that cares. This is for food, rental, and utility assistance. That doesn't have to be appropriated because it goes straight to the Town That Cares Fund, and we use that as needed. We've already discussed the NCAAA grant. And then there's also our prevention group is organizing a back to school bash at Blueback Square. This is a substance-free send-off to summer. I really appreciate the work of the West Hartford Prevention Council, the West Hartford Prevention Partnership, and the volunteers and staff that support those groups. There's also some important changes to utility assistance programs that has come up in 2025. They've changed some of the tiers and some of the eligibility criteria. So it really has complicated the navigation for our clients. And that includes for Eversource, CNG, as well as the MDC. So we really just encourage people to call the utility company directly to review and adjust their monthly budget payment plans. And if they run into any issues, they can always reach out to social services to help them. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I know that we have had, just speaking of energy, we have had staff from CRT in the past stationed at Town Hall to assist with this. That's not really happening at this point?
No, we haven't received a worker to be on site.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there any requests for future agenda items? I would just say by the time we have our next meeting, we should be very, very close, hopefully, to having the driving range open. So let's try to get an update on that. And I'm sure if either of the other committee members have anything that they would like brought up, just reach out and we'll try to get that on the next agenda. Okay. If there are no further items, I will seek a motion to adjourn. I see you there, Counselor Fay. I will take that motion without objection. Meeting is adjourned at 6:37 p.m. Everybody stay cool. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.